Hi everyone, I'm Grace. I work as a teacher and live in the United States with my cat. Today is special because it's my husband's birthday, and I'm baking a cake for him. I really miss him, but thinking about our wonderful memories makes me feel better. After baking his favorite cake, I sat on the couch with our wedding album and remembered a conversation we had. Grace, can you believe we are finally married? Ethan asked. I know, it seems like just yesterday when you talked to me on Rose Day, I replied. Don't make me feel shy now, we were so young back then, he said. That memory took me back 12 years to our school days. Hey Grace, you know today is a pretty special day, right? Ethan said. Let me guess, International Pancake Day. I joked. No, it's Rose Day, the day we showered each other with roses and all that mushy stuff, he explained. So, on here is a rose for you. Wow, Ethan, you really shouldn't have, but I'll take it, I said. Wait, there's more. We've been friends for ages and maybe it's time we upgraded our status to, super duper buddies. Super duper buddies? Is that an official category? I laughed. Well, it should be. But okay, fine, I'll say it straight. Grace, will you be my girlfriend? Ethan asked. I burst into laughter. We had been best friends since childhood, and to be honest, I had a crush on him. Of course, I said yes. Ethan, you were one of a kind. Do you know that? Sure, why not? I'm up for the challenge of being a super duper buddy, he replied. Yes, success. Your charm knows no bounds, I teased. And so, our story began on a day of roses and bold confessions. Little did we know that our super duper buddy status would lead to countless adventures and endless laughter. On our wedding day, I teased Ethan, and he blushed. You were my world, Grace, and now that we are officially a family, nothing can tear us apart, he said. Nothing, I agreed. Not even death. Don't say that, I'm not going anywhere, he assured me, hugging me tightly. Little did we know, life was about to take a harsh turn. We came back from our beautiful honeymoon and started living our normal life. My in-laws, Veronica and Andrew, lived close to us, and we used to meet on weekends. Andrew was quite supportive of Veronica and I weren't that close. Still, she didn't treat me badly, so it was going okay. One Sunday, after having dinner at their house, we started driving back home. Ethan looked tired. Are you okay? You look different, I asked. I am so tired, he replied. What happened? Let me drive, I offered. No, we are almost home, he insisted. Are you sure? I asked. Yes, he said. Suddenly, our car hit the divider, and everything turned upside down. Before I could even understand what was happening, an ambulance came and took us to the hospital. The next day, I woke up in the hospital with my in-laws by my side. What happened yesterday? I asked. Where is Ethan? Are you okay, dear? I asked. Ethan is in another ward. What exactly happened yesterday? He was tired, so I offered to drive, but we were so close to home. Then suddenly, we had an accident. Why did you let him drive? You're the cause of this accident. Because of you, my son is. Veronica began. My son is what? What happened to Ethan? I want to see him, please. Andrew took me to Ethan's room. What I saw inside was shocking. He was lying in bed, unable to move or speak. I went to him and hugged him tightly. Ethan, what happened to you? Ethan tried to speak but couldn't move his lips. Andrew told me he was paralyzed. The accident had been terrible for him. I couldn't accept this fact, that he couldn't move, walk, or talk to me anymore. How is this even possible? The doctor advised keeping him at the hospital for further tests. I went home, unable to process what had happened. Life had been so cruel to Ethan. He had worked hard and achieved so much at a young age, and this accident was a harsh blow. After the accident, my mother-in-law started ignoring my calls and messages just when I needed their support the most. I called Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Hi, dear. How are you holding up? I'm okay. Can we meet? I really need to talk. I understand. It has been tough for you. Veronica and I will come tomorrow. I overheard Veronica saying in the background, I do not want to meet that girl. It's okay if you are busy. You don't have to come. No, we are coming. Okay, thanks. Veronica was being harsh to me because she believed the accident was my fault. I was already burdened with guilt. Maybe if I had stopped Ethan from driving, the accident might have been avoided. The next day, Veronica and Andrew came to see me. Hi, dear. Hello. You look sad. It has been 2 months. I think you should get back to your routine. I cannot. I cannot bear to see Ethan like this. The doctor says there has been no improvement. I cannot live with this reality. I know it is hard for us too. He is our son. I'm sure he would also be sad to see you like this. So take my advice and go back to work." Veronica sat there silently, not saying a word. I tried to talk to her. "What do you think, Veronica?" "No need to ask me. You've already caused enough trouble for my son. Do you even care about my son?" "What are you saying?" "I think you wanted to kill my son and take all his property for yourself." "What?" I was frozen, looking at her in shock, unable to understand how she could even say such a thing. Tears rolled down my cheeks. "That is enough, Veronica. Let us go home." "Oh, I'm sorry, Grace. Take care. Just remember, I will not let you live a good life." Andrew held her hand and led her outside. I cried a lot that day. I did not know how to explain to her how much I loved Ethan. I decided to be strong and take Andrew's advice. I went back to work and started facing life again. I visited Ethan every day. He communicated with me through his eyes, and that was enough to get me through the day. One day, when I went to see Ethan, something felt different. His eyes were dry. I shouted and called the doctors. They rushed in and examined him. Ethan was pronounced dead. My heart stopped for a moment. Ethan had left us forever. I could not leave my home for the next few days. I did not want to see anyone. The love of my life was gone, and I was unable to face the world without him. Andrew tried calling me several times, but I did not answer. I just lay in bed all day crying. One day, the doorbell rang. I was too weak to get up and open the door. By the time I reached it, the bell had stopped ringing, and I found a letter outside. It was a legal notice to vacate the house. I could not understand it at first. After reading the letter carefully, I realized it was from Andrew's lawyer. Why was he doing this to me? According to the notice, the house belonged to Andrew, and he wanted me out. I couldn't believe he could do this to me. I was sad and angry, so I decided to confront him. "Hello, Andrew. How are you, my child? Why did you not pick up my calls for so long? Why are you acting this way? You sent me a legal notice, and now you're pretending to care about me." "What notice? I have no idea what you're talking about." "Stop playing games, Andrew. I know Veronica blamed me for the accident. I thought you were supportive, but what you did is unbelievable." "Wait, please explain what happened. Did you not transfer all of Ethan's assets to your name and now you want to make me homeless too?" "I have no idea what you're talking about. You were like a daughter to me. Let me come and see you, and we can figure this out." "I do not want to see you. I am moving out. I did not marry Ethan for his money. I do not care who gets his property, but this house holds his memories, and sadly I cannot live here anymore." I hung up the phone and moved to a rented house. Andrew tried to contact me, but I was not interested in them anymore. I had Ethan's beautiful memories with me. I returned to work. One day while walking down the street, I saw a hungry and injured cat. Ethan loved cats. I brought her home, and since that day she became my pet, a constant reminder of the love we once shared. One day while walking down the street, lost in my thoughts, I saw Andrew approaching. It was the first time I had seen him since I moved out. A mix of emotions welled up inside me. "Grace, is that you?" "Yes, it is me." There was an awkward silence as we stood there facing each other on the sidewalk. "How have you been, Grace?" "I've been coping, Andrew. It's not easy." "I can only imagine how difficult it must be for you." I could not help but notice the sadness in Andrew's eyes. It seemed genuine, and for a moment, I wondered if there was a misunderstanding regarding the legal notice. "Andrew, about that legal notice, Grace, I truly do not know about it. I never authorized any such notice." My confusion deepened. If Andrew did not send the notice, then who did? "I do not understand. If it was not you, then who sent that notice?" "I wish I knew. I've not been involved in any legal proceedings after my retirement. I want you to know, Grace, that I have always considered you a part of our family." "Then why did Veronica say those things to me, accusing me of wanting Ethan's wealth?" Andrew sighed, looking pained. "Veronica has been struggling to cope with Ethan's condition and the loss of her son. She may have said things in anger and grief." I could not hold back my tears. The weight of the past few months had been unbearable, and now, facing Andrew, I felt a mix of relief and sorrow. "I loved Ethan with all my heart, Andrew. I still do." "I know you did, Grace, and I believe you. I will look into this legal notice matter and try to get it sorted out." "Thank you, Andrew. That means a lot to me." As we parted ways, I could not help but wonder about the truth behind the legal notice. It seemed there were more mysteries to unravel in this painful chapter of my life. Andrew's statement seemed like it held some truth. He had been focusing on his farming business ever since his retirement, and Veronica had taken charge of handling all the financial matters. Could it possibly be her? The suspicions started to emerge in my mind, but I was cautious. After all, Veronica was Ethan's mother, and I did not want to accuse her unfairly. So I made up my mind to dig deeper into the matter to ensure I had all the facts. As time went by, I became more and more worried about the legal notice. It felt like a puzzle with missing pieces, and it bothered me a lot. I knew I had to investigate further to find out what really happened, so I asked a police friend who was good at solving mysteries and was ready to help me. Together, we looked into where the legal notice came from. We tried to reach the lawyer as well, but he was out of the country. We carefully followed all the clues, both on paper and online, hoping to find something that would tell us who sent it. It took a lot of time, but I was determined to discover the truth. Finally, after weeks of searching, my friend managed to get a recording of a conversation between Veronica and the lawyer. We also found a digital trail that pointed to Veronica. The proof was clear. Veronica had sent the legal notice, and it seemed that Andrew did not know about it. She had played well by transferring all the assets to Andrew's name so that no one would doubt her. I was sad and surprised by how much she disliked me. I went to Veronica's house when Andrew was not there because I wanted to talk to her alone first to see if she would tell the truth. I rang her doorbell. "Why are you here? I did not want to see you. It would be better if you leave." I did not pay attention to her and walked in, sitting on the couch. "This is also my father-in-law's house. You cannot just kick me out. You caused our son's death, and we do not consider you part of our family anymore. Please be polite, Veronica. You will not have much to say in a few minutes." "What do you mean?" I could see the apprehension in Veronica's eyes, a sense that she knew her secret was on the verge of being exposed. "I've been trying to understand why that legal notice was sent. I needed to know the truth." "What notice?" "The one because of which I had to leave our house." "I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand these legal things." "Oh, really? Do you know Mr. Johnson, the lawyer?" "No, I don't." "Try harder to remember." "I told you, Grace, I had nothing to do with it." "Your denials won't work anymore, Veronica. I have concrete evidence that you sent the notice." "What do you have?" I played the audio recording of a conversation between the lawyer and Veronica. Veronica's face paled as she realized the gravity of the situation. She shifted uncomfortably in her chair. "How did you?" "I had help, Veronica. The truth was bound to come out eventually." "Grace, you were smarter than I expected. So now that you know it was me and that I don't want you to have Ethan's assets, why are you here?" "Just leave my house." "I'm glad you accepted the truth, Veronica. The truth is, I loved Ethan with all my heart, and his assets are not just property to me. His memories lie in all those things. We can share his assets. I do not want to share anything belonging to my son with his killer." Before I could respond, I heard Andrew's voice. "Shut up, Veronica. You have said enough." Veronica and I looked back in shock. Andrew was already home and had heard everything. I didn't want Andrew to know about the matter so soon. I wanted to settle it with Veronica first. Unfortunately, he heard everything and he looked hurt. "Andrew, you went to the farmer's market. How did you come back so soon?" "I forgot my wallet, but I'm glad I came home. Otherwise, I would have never understood what you have done." "It's not like that. I can explain." "Oh, so you have an explanation. Please explain what you have done. I never thought my wife would keep me in the dark." "Actually, I got insecure about Ethan's property and wanted it to be safe with us. Grace is his wife. You know, after Ethan, the property belongs to her." "No, I never wanted her to be his wife, but Ethan was crazy for her. I didn't want him to dislike me because I was refusing his marriage." "Why do you have so many issues with Grace? She is the purest soul." "I knew she was not good for Ethan, and look, because of her, Ethan left us." "Stop it, Veronica. You said I am responsible for my husband's death, and since that day, I have been dying inside every day. But let me make it clear, I was not the reason for the accident. It was just bad timing." "Whatever. I never wanted you to be in his life. And now that Ethan is not here, I do not want you to enjoy his property." "Why did you transfer everything into my name?" "Because I did not want to seem bad in your eyes. If I transferred the assets to my name, you would have supported Grace and given her everything back. It's not about Ethan. I know you, Veronica. You were being selfish. Have you forgotten your past mistakes? I gave you a fair chance, and you were repeating the same things again. Past mistakes. I never told this to Ethan or you, but today, the day when we were newly married, Veronica claimed my parents' property and threw them out of the house, making it seem like I was the one responsible. Today she did the same with you. That was so evil. I cannot believe this. She created misunderstandings between me and my parents. They never spoke to me again, but despite that, I gave her a chance and continued our marriage. But it looks like she will never understand. I have made my decision. I cannot continue like this. I'm going to file for divorce. Divorce? Are you serious, Andrew? Please, let's talk about this. We can work things out. Grace and I have been through too much, and I cannot ignore your secrets and lies any longer. It's not healthy for any of us. Please don't do this to me, Andrew. Where will I go? Don't ask me. My decision is final. Veronica sat down in disbelief. The tension in the room was heavy. I never imagined something like this would happen. I know I messed up by transferring the assets. I did it out of fear. I was scared that if I didn't, Grace would take everything and leave us with nothing. Veronica, I never wanted any of this. I didn't even know about the assets until now. Ethan loved you, and I didn't want to come between you. Enough explanation, Veronica. Just get out of my house. I'll see you in court. Veronica started crying, but she understood that nothing was going to work out. After some time, she left home. Andrew, I didn't want to create problems between you and Veronica. I didn't want to be the cause of more tension in your marriage. This is not your fault, Grace. This is just a reflection of her actions. Andrew, I'm so sorry for everything. You don't have to say sorry. You have lost everything. You're like a daughter to me, and I have decided something for you. What is it? I'm giving you half of my assets. No, I didn't do all this to get property. I just wanted Veronica to realize her mistakes. But I want you to keep it, Grace. We're connected through Ethan's memory, and I'm sure he wants you to have a home. As I remember Ethan and me living in our beautiful house, tears came into my eyes. Thank you so much, Andrew. You were like a daughter, Grace. Feel free to call me whenever you need anything. Sure. I went home. My revenge had been served, and Veronica got a punishment for what she did. I was back home. I knew it would not be easy to live without Ethan, but I was determined to rebuild my life and find a way to honor Ethan's memory with love.